Disclaimer: everything discussed in this stream is alleged. Everything is based on our opinions. Please do your own research.
Hello, Holly.
Hello. Hi.
We act like we haven't seen each other. We've in fact been talking privately for 10 minutes.
We've been talking for half an hour.
Has it been half an hour?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see you again. We did take a break for about 3 seconds. So
Yes. Yeah. Like if people don't realize we are actually friends in real life.
sometimes. Except when I boss you around too much.
Yeah, except for when
just like
Rocky's
puts me in
being a
timeout.
bossy bitch and she interrupts me all the time.
I'm working on it. Fuck.
I know you are.
I'm super trying. I've got some good videos. We got a lot of shit to cover today, though, Holly, because the whole SSC Suck Some Cocks is being interviewed by Donald Best came up this week, and I was gonna just ignore it, and I just can't. I can't, and I feel like, you know what, we should just get ahead of it and remind people why they should be concerned and not just falling for it. So we didn't really plan as well as some of our other streams, but it's fine. You'll get the picture. And don't worry, we've still got some of the disgusting stuff for you. We'll do that right away. Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, I had some comments from Dr. Garepi on Rumble on our things. He talks in the third person. It's real obnoxious.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and he talks about how we're obsessed with him. I let him know we're not obsessed with him.
Are we obsessed with him?
Yes. I let him know we're not obsessed with him, but we're not going to stop till we find his wife, and we will win. So, yeah, I don't know.
We're obsessed with finding his wife.
Exactly. But in lieu of that, he did say that we were trying to infringe on his rights to procreate, and that when he inseminates another woman, he will have won.
Okay.
So we can't drop the whole segment is it grosser than JF? We have to carry on.
We got to warn the bitches out there. And so in my defense, I guess.
What defense? What do you need?
Actually, I don't know. I take that back. If Mr. Garepi is so fucking retarded to think that he's going to inseminate me, he knows nothing about biology.
Not inseminate you. He just wants to inseminate somebody. He just wants to sperm all over everybody, okay?
Yeah, he knows nothing of biology. So he needs to go back to school and understands what happens to a woman's body after the age of 50.
Oh, yeah, he won't try. I don't think he likes old eggs. I think he only likes just, ew, he's so gross. Anyways, Holly, this first video, it's not as gross. I don't even think it's a runner-up for is it grosser than JF. Okay, but you can tell me. Oh, we can say hi to everybody too. Sorry, I just jumped right in.
Yeah, so we got Pie Case, Femikazi with the awesome emojis that are over on Rumble. Rumble's a much more entertaining channel.
Like for the chat. Yeah,
for the chat. Yeah, go over there if you want to have a spicy chat. KJV and
hello.
Let's see, Kat. Thank you. Oh,
hey, Kat.
Oh.
Yes, JF's mother should have swallowed so the world would be JF free. I agree. I agree. That was a wasted shot.
That was a waste of genetic material.
Yep. Unfortunately, she didn't. All right, so here, shall we just get started? Let's just talk about gross shit.
Let's give it. Let's go gross shit right away.
Get it out of the way. There's only 2. You guys are going to get to vote. Is it grosser than JF? So this first one, not as shocking. Still a little fucking shocking, though.
Say mom without touching your lips together. Like, try it. Surprise squeeze! Gotcha.
Why does it sound so fucking angry? I'll tell you right now, if you did that shit in the medieval times, they would have fucking burnt you at the stake because they thought you was a witch. That's some fucking sorcery.
You know what's crazy? You literally can.
Okay, so that was a surprise queef.
Okay, you know, I'm kind of impressed. That was quite the queef.
Yeah, like she has been holding it in, and
good volume, good length of queef, excellent moisture.
Well, okay. So maybe see that's pretty bad when we all know that JF is definitely grosser than the surprise queef. All right, guys. Fucking trigger warning. It's not meat spin. Relax. I got it off Facebook, so you guys can calm down. But here we go. Here we go.
I'm in danger.
His hemorrhoid exploded in my mouth, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. His legs are in the air. I'm face deep, and I feel something. Pops, explodes, and it just like covers my face and my chin.
Fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You go straight that way for a while until you fuck all the way off.
Exploding hemorrhoids in your face, grosser than JF or no? Like in her mouth. It was obviously a boil or
I was
whatever.
going to say, we know what a hemorrhoid is, right? Yeah. It's an exposed vein.
Yeah, no, it was a boil.
So
it was a pussy boil with blood in it.
A pussy
that exploded in her mouth. This, kids, is why we don't eat ass, okay?
Why is she biting ass boils?
Well, she probably wasn't meaning to. I don't know. Maybe she's teethy in it. I don't know.
Why is she biting ass boils?
I don't know. I didn't follow up with a question in the comments. I don't know. It's pretty fucking gross. But
yeah, Tom? Tom C2Q.
Oh, yeah. It's puke, right? Yeah, trust me. I saw that and I wanted to throw my phone across the room, but I'm like, oh no, I got to share that with everybody. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got that. All right, guys.
Okay.
So who voted for who's grossest? I need to see the votes. Is there any answers? Who's grosser?
All right. You know what? I still think JF is grosser than ass boil.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, Pie Case. Listen, you guys know what show you're watching. When we all get set. Wait, I was reading the Holly Polly.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Still read. Von D, our sugar dad. We can't not read us. Jeez, we need the money. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, Von D.
No, we do. We actually need the money. Don't listen.
Please send help. No. When we all get sent to the internet gulag for mean words, I'm going to make Jeff my whore. I'll be busting a nut in his face twice a day and calling him an ugly woman. Oh God.
Oof, sexy.
I don't know. All right, you guys. All right, so we got to get into it. So the SSC is going to get interviewed by Donald Best tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, we're going to start at the very beginning, Holly and I, because we realize that there are people who watch our stream who are not all like in the know with the whole Diagolon stuff. They're not in the know with all of it. And to be honest with you, I really would have been fine not being in the know either.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance was bliss. So, sorry, we can hide that comment. Now we get good. Oh, God. Jeez, everybody's so mean, eh? Dental floss.
Do you think he flosses? He's French.
No, I know. I've heard his height. He doesn't wear deodorant, and he apparently smells like onions.
Yeah.
And he thinks his pheromones are going to attract the women. Yeah, stinky fucker. Anyways, it's fine. So anyways, JF, yeah, we are obsessed. We're going to keep being mean until we find Alora. Okay. I don't know. Everything can help. Yeah, exactly. So, Holly, do you want to open up the bullshit long-ass report?
The document?
Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to start at the beginning. Some of you are going to be like, this is bullshit, but you know what? We just got to get through it, guys. Okay.
Are we going to put the whole thing?
But just this, not all of it. Just some of it. We'll go through it as we can go along. So just this, that part here.
Okay, so a little background. What is CSIS? For the people that don't understand, quick overview. So CSIS stands for Canadian Security Intelligence Service.
Can you tell them to stop banging? Sorry.
Yeah. Guys, stop banging. They're giggling now.
Taking over your voice.
Okay, so CSIS stands for Canadian Security Intelligence Service. CSIS was the baby that was born after the RCMP was shut down. Their intelligence service was shut down because they were planting bombs during the FLQ crisis, and one of the officers got his hands blown off, and people figured it out. So essentially, it's a spy agency, not a police force. So what CSIS actually does is it collects intelligence information on threats to Canada. For example, terrorism, foreign interference, espionage, violent extremism. They work behind the scenes doing surveillance, analysis, informants, and covert operations. They give intelligence reports to the government and to the RCMP. So hopefully they're preventing threats before they happen. What CSIS cannot do is they are not cops. They cannot arrest people. They cannot lay charges or conduct criminal investigations. They don't run around busting in doors. They don't carry guns. They don't enforce criminal law. CSIS gathers information, and then the RCMP or local police enforce the law. So the difference between CSIS and the FBI for our American viewers, so they're compared as the similar thing, but they're not the same. So CSIS is a pure intelligence agency. They have no arrest powers, no law enforcement. Covert, they report threats to the government. That's it. They're more aligned with what the CIA is, not the FBI.
Perfect. You don't have to read the rest of those things then. We could just go down.
So
So we've
just-
got that. All right. So
There's the difference.
yes. Do you want? I can't read it. This too small screen for me.
Yeah. So CSIS intelligent only, FBI intelligence plus law enforcement.
Yeah. So then if we go down and we go to, there should be, can you scroll down till you see Heritage Front first show up?
So CSIS and the Heritage Front.
Yeah, why it became a national scandal.
So in the late 1980s, early 1990s, CSIS ran a secret intelligence operation inside a violent white supremacist group called the Heritage Front. Their top infiltrator was Grant Bristow, a CSIS mole who became a co-founder and senior leader of the group. So that's where the trouble began. So CSIS became a national scandal because the CSIS mole, Grant Bristow, helped build the extremist group. He didn't just spy, he became one of the main organizers, recruiters, strategists for the Heritage Front. This led to accusations that CSIS wasn't just monitoring extremism, CSIS was helping it grow. So he also encouraged criminal, violent, and racist activity. And even though Bristow was supposed to gather intelligence, he was present during acts of harassment and intimidation, violent confrontations, racist propaganda distribution, targeted campaigns against journalists and activists. Critics later asked, did CSIS let the crimes happen? Did they enable it?
Yeah, they did.
They enabled it, 100%. They also bankrolled it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they bankroll in this too, I guarantee. Well, so are people who donate to Jeremy Mackenzie. But yes.
Yeah. So CSIS may have protected violent extremists. So there were credible claims that Bristow shielded certain Heritage Front members from consequences because CSIS wanted to preserve their operation. So this looked like state protection of white supremacists. CSIS hid the operation from government oversight. So for years, the Security Intelligence Review Committee, SIRC, the oversight body, was not fully informed of what Bristow was doing.
But do you know who was? Do you know who was informed? The Privy Council. The Privy Council, which is also they're all involved in everything. Every psychological operation that's happening in Canada, the Privy Council is involved with.
Yep, Privy Council, yay! So
okay, so we got that.
They crossed the moral line.
Yeah, they did. So Grant Bristow, he was around for late 80s till early to mid 90s. Then he was exposed.
Yeah.
And he took off right away. They gave him a new identity. They put him in St. John, right? Is that what it is in Edmonton? By Edmonton? What do they call that place?
St. Albert.
St. Albert, thank you.
Yeah.
They put him in a nice house, him and his family up, and they changed his name to Nathan Black. Fine. Nathan Black. See, this is why I believe Donald Best is... There's a lot of reasons I believe Donald Best is Nathan Black, and you can check it out yourselves. I encourage you to go to our page on Telegram because it's all there. We don't have a DNA test to confirm that Donald Best is Grant Bristow. Donald Best, however, has not been able to prove that he is Donald Best even. Like, he tells you stuff. He did a 3-hour stream that, my God, I actually thought my head was going to explode. It was the most boring load of shit I've ever heard. We had a genealogist go through all of the details, okay? Even to look up newspaper articles that he supposedly claims were there and da-da-da-da-da. None of it could be none of it was verifiable. It was all bullshit. Yes, his grandfather's name was, claims was this Raymond whatever, but when you look at that name, that person actually died a bachelor and didn't have kids. So there's like a lot of, he's a liar. He's just a fucking liar. But we know that. And so I know that some people don't understand why I don't drop it. Because this man lied. He lied about, came and infiltrated the Coots supporters, okay? He came in with Jason Levine and pretended they were supporters who were going to use their platforms to help push fundraising. And you know what? They came in all nicey. We're buds. We're going to help, blah, blah, blah. But then they started to play fucking games. And they stopped listening to the families, like when their families like saying, stop reporting this because this warrant's getting removed. And so that will no longer be evidence. And they're just, they said, no, fuck you. Well, we're going to report what we want. It doesn't matter how it affects the case or the support of the guys. Then I have no idea how or why they decided that Granny McKay, who was the biggest supporter of the Coots 4, and she did fundraise a ton of money. I don't know why they decided they had to attack her, but they did. They said that she stole all this money. She had a team of people working with her. I was on that team. They wrote my name and spelt it any variation they could. And that there was like $300,000 missing. This never happened. I never worked with them ever. Okay. I never worked with Granny McKay. I never did fundraising like that. The only time I was ever involved with fundraising was for Chris Lysak with Diagolon, and that was when money was sent to my email. Any money that was sent to me or any money I got was given to them, and I had receipts. But that didn't matter because the smear campaign had to happen. The problem is when that happened, when Donald Best pulled this shit and wrote a report saying he is a certified fraud investigator, you know, he's a former Toronto Police Department or police officer and all this shit. He completely destroyed trust in everybody. We had such a huge, massive group of supporters across Canada for those 4 men, and they would have been getting fundraising. Tony, for example, might not be so destitute today had they not done that. This was targeted and directly to destroy. Donald Best is, he is butthurt. Donald Best. So anyways, Donald Best is a fucking idiot because guess what? He put my name in that report. I am a psycho. Don't put my fucking name in a report. And he said, I reached out to everybody named in this report and gave them an opportunity to speak. Things that never happened, Donald. Never reached out to me because trust me, I would have made it public. I would have shown the emails. I would have been like, fuck you. I never did that. He knows that. He never talked to me. He just wanted to, destroy the fundraising because he's a piece of shit. So now Donald Best is now working with Mackenzie again to promote the SSC, which is obviously, guys, it's obviously a federal operation. But before I don't want to get too far off. I just want to show 2 things. Okay, guys, there's 2 videos I just need to show to prove that, because I know this is going to come up. What the hell? Where is it, Holly Bolly?
Wherever you uploaded it.
It's because it's the only one I wanted to show first. Of course, it's right here. I've got it though. I think it's under lies. Is it lies? No, that's not it. Proof. That's what's under proof. Where is it? Oh, I almost hit the queef one again. Sorry,
Don't
Holly.
hit the queef one again, please.
Where's proof? Where's proof? Where is proof? Granny Margaret didn't steal the money either. Like, that was all lies. And they totally destroyed this woman's reputation, gave her panic attacks.
Yep.
For no reason.
Yep. And this poor woman was doing this out of the kindness of her heart because she actually is a good human being. And they attacked and mercilessly slandered her. I don't know if it's slander, if it's libel. Anyway,
disgusting.
Destroyed her reputation, and this poor woman was just called to this cause and was extremely effective with it because it was true and it was honest. And people, the close inner circles are still very good friends with her to this day because she's such a good person.
She is. And it was really upsetting for her. Like, Holly, can you look at the group? If I send it to the group, can you just do it? For some reason, it's not letting me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sent to the group right now. Because I think, fuck it. Let's just combat this shit, you jerks.
Okay, so 1 sec. Hold, please.
Thank you, Holly.
Play hold music.
Yes. Do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
So these guys are subversive. Everything they do, they act like they're Joe Public, who is trying to help the fucking Canadian people and make Canada great again and all that crap. They're not. These people are subversive. They're distractors. They're not good people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. And
well, they're sent to infiltrate and subvert and
destroy
anything that's actually true and good and grassroots.
Except for when it's bullshit used by the government, in my opinion, to distract, because Donald Best and Jason Levine were pro fucking ostriches. Despite having all the information given to them, they were still promoting those ostriches.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've downloaded the file. Oh my god, I've been working on a bunch of different stuff, so it's not just right here for me.
Holly's OnlyFans has not been working lately, and she's fixing the the technical glitches, sorry.
Yeah, so my OnlyFans actually was doing really well for a period there. I bought a Lamborghini.
I heard your daughter. I heard her.
Okay,
what?
She's actually my cameraman, so I don't understand why she's so surprised. The videos were doing incredibly well.
That's so weird.
We were actually on the front page for a little bit there.
You were. I saw it.
Yeah.
Cake smashing.
Yeah.
Cake smashing.
Cake smashing.
With your butt. It's like a butt thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we're having a little bit of issues. So sorry to the subscribers. There will be new videos uploaded shortly.
Is it not uploading still?
No.
Hey, see, that's weird, right? That's weird. Okay, well, that's fine. So we'll just start with this. This is something I made about Donald Best back in the fucking day. I'll let you go have a look.
Pictures 25-30 wires apart. Evil eyebrows, hooded eyes, same crooked teeth.
So our belief is that Donald Best is, in fact, a Grant Bristow. I do want to point out the day after we did the stream, I did get a call from CSIS. That very next morning, okay? I just want to throw this out there for you guys to ponder. Why would CSIS phone me the very next day after we announced that he is, we believe he's Grant Bristow? Why would they do that if there was nothing to worry about? Wanted to meet with me, drove all the way to Lethbridge to do so. Like that's weird. And I feel like that was confirmation. Honestly, I was very excited about it. I was like, fuck yeah, because there's no way they're going to waste their agents, their time and everything, unless I was right. I think they thought I had a source, which I didn't.
Just your little brain.
It was just his eyebrows.
So yeah, I know it. The funniest thing was when you texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like, oh my god, the eyebrows. And I woke up in the morning like, what is this bitch talking about? But then we looked at it and we did the overlays and everything. Pretty not scientific.
I wasn't even
but
looking for it. All I was looking for is where's the farm that CSIS used in Ottawa. That was it. I was trying to find that information, and then I saw the eyebrows. Oh, you got it. And here's the proof. And Donald Best, of course, does never acknowledge any fucking proof that other people find.
I hope this works because I can't download it for some reason. It's not showing up. So this is just sharing this. So hopefully this works. Let me know.
Look how stressed I was.
You look stressed.
I was.
You look so much happier now.
I know. Weird, right?
Okay.
Push play.
Yeah.
February 17th, $1,000 to Mike Lysick. February 18th, $1,000 to Mike Lysick. April 16th, $1,000 to Mike Lysick. April 19th, $200 to Mike Lysick. And then, they're saying you stole all this money and all this, but how do you explain these receipts here to the lawyer?
I don't. I mean, I'm a magician.
$10,000 right here to Lutz in Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. The money you stole.
I know.
Lutz in Trust. Here's another $8,800 Lutz in Trust. Another $8,800. And then there is $1,000 Lutz in Trust. $1,000 Lutz in Trust. $1,000 Lutz in Trust. $1,000 Lutz in Trust. $1,000 Lutz in Trust.
Thank you.
There's the evidence.
I know.
I am so sick of people ruining other people's lives with absolutely no evidence. I am also sick of people sharing shit that they don't even know is real. They have no proof. It is so disgusting. Now, well, I'm worked up because of that. Let's go into this.
I just have that's just a small clip, but it just basically combat. So despite that proof, right? Of course, Donald Best can never admit it. And today he actually promoted that fucking report again to our friend Femikazi.
Can I
the report.
Pause for a second? So our sugar daddy Von D.
Yes.
Actually gave us another $10 Rumble rant. Thank you again so much for your support. So he says, Donald can suck my cack.
This is great. I'm glad. That was important.
Very important.
He can.
Breaking news.
So after we did announce this and we did all this, Donald Best and Jason Levine panicked. They had a fucking panic attack. Now, if Donald Best, I get that. I'm getting all the names. If Donald was not Grant Bristow, would these phone calls have happened? Listen to this. I'm not even sure if these things happened because I don't believe anything these fuckers say. But here, hold on.
Work in case management for various lawyers and various law firms. I had a client reach out to me over this and jokingly saying, "Oh, you're not really Grant Bristow all these years, are you?"
Donald, the Law Society reached out to me. The House of Commons reached out to me.
Why is the House of Commons reaching out to you, Jason, about this? Why would all these people give a fuck if I was so wrong and so completely off the ball?
Well, okay, we're talking about a live stream that has maybe...
At that time, we had 300 maximum.
Yeah, we had like 300 subscribers, and maybe like 15 of our super fans were watching us weekly. Like we
were literally nobody.
We were literally nobody. And
but
then
CSIS shows up the next day. The House of Commons is calling Jason Levine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I do want to say, Donald, I know that I hope that happened too. I did. Donald was very upset. And I know this is my favorite. I just fucking love it because I love this. I love this. I laughed so hard listening to him threaten us.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting you on notice right now that you've crossed the line. I believe you've crossed a criminal threshold. You've certainly crossed defamation and a civil lawsuit, and this better stop right now. I want these posts taken down. I want an apology, a public one posted. I want a retraction and a few other things too. But that's what I want. You have to stop right now. If you don't stop, right now with this Grant Bristow story, issue a retraction, and say that I'm not Grant Bristow. If you don't stop that right now, well, I'll have to take some more steps, all legal. And I'm a very serious person.
Can I just
How about no?
I'm sure he loved our response, but I didn't know what else to say to the guy because it was just so fucking funny. It sounded like he wanted to spank my ass and put me to bed early. Like it was ridiculous. The way
Okay, hold up. Maybe he did want to spank your ass a little bit
you
there.
know what, Donald? There's other ways to go around it. You don't have to be a creep or a
You know what?
or a fucking weirdo that's tried to subvert Canada. Yeah.
He just, you know what? He just has to buy you flowers and take you out for coffee.
What?
He said he just has to buy you flowers and take you out for coffee and can spank your ass.
Oh no, I already have somebody else who's. I'm not kidding you. I've got cactuses now and a potted plant. There's flowers at each level of the house. Like it's fun. Yeah. Okay, so Daddy spanked me harder, right? Like goddamn. So okay, so that is who Donald Best is. That is how we're going to incorporate this. Now, Haley had pointed out something really good. Holly, this is where we're going to bring in those two links about Gunner Rope. When Donald Best was when Grant Bristow was working the Heritage Front, what did he do with the Gunner Rope book?
He promoted it, Gun and Rope.
And what is that book? I don't even know, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know.
I never read it, but yeah, seriously, right? So the gun and oof.
I typed in Gunner Rope. That's all I typed in. I swear to God. The first thing, I got to show you this. Look at this. Look at the first thing. You'd think the book would show up, right?
Yes.
The book is not what shows up. Hold on.
What shows up?
We'll see. Hold on. Top fucking search.
What?
Yeah. Diagolon. The second one is Hatepedia. Oh, it's associated to the Diagolon movement. That is funny because we all know it's obviously a book that precedes the fucking Diagolon.
Yeah, so like as Messerschmitt said, essentially it's hyper violent race war fantasy. So it's like a white supremacist wet dream of what these groups are supposed to do.
Okay.
And it's basically written like furry fancore.
Oh, Day of the Rope. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Sorry, Haley.
Day of the Rope.
Look, I know there's a rope.
I don't even know what it's fucking called.
Listen, Haley, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm going to become a better hater. What's wrong?
We need to shovel snow because we got a whole bunch of snow up here, and my lovely child is going to go shovel the snow for me.
Gross. That's awful. Okay, sorry. Well, I didn't know. Okay, Day of Rope. Sorry, Day of Rope. And so then Jeremy Mackenzie also did it, right? Holly, the links. You got distracted. Sorry.
Which one do you want? The anti-racist one or the walrus?
Let's just show that one, the anti-racist one.
Okay. So we're going to share some anti-racist stuff right now.
Well, just to prove that there was this was right at the beginning. What year was that? Does it say?
Friday, February 14th, 2020. Jeremy Mackenzie, Nova Scotia-based extremist YouTuber spreads hate. So blah, blah, blah. Despite the amount of online chatter, only a few people showed up at the event to protest in person. One of these people was Jeremy Mackenzie, a Nova Scotia-based former combat veteran with the Canadian Armed Forces. His one-man protest was quickly lauded by those across the conservative spectrum, from run-of-the-mill pro-military folks to the names we recognize from far-right spaces. So this was the launch of the raging
Jeremy stuff. Yeah, so anti-hate was just all over him right away, right?
Just weird. Like only a few people showed up and it didn't even really make headlines.
I am going to find that video right now because because I want to. I'm going to find that video. I didn't put it up there, but I have it.
Oh, it's not a video. It's just a screenshot.
No, I mean a video of I'm going to download the video of Jeremy saying of him at that meeting.
Yep. So it was in our opinion, it was a organized event that launched this dude here into the spotlight as Canada's next alt-right spokesperson.
Yeah. I'm going to play this video real quick. And I do know that Femikazi was there that night as a reporter for a different organization. And she said she found it very weird that this blew up and went viral overnight. And it was Peter McIsaac, Peter McIsaac's name keeps coming up too. Like, these people are not, I'm just here. I've got the video. I'm going to share it. 1 second here. So this was the video that basically made Jeremy famous, is that what we would say?
Infamous.
Yeah. And it sounds, but the biggest line in this is about being the bad guy. I really do believe that is his, that's what he's supposed to
do. That's the catchphrase.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Taliban, which he was a member of. And I absolutely detest and abhor the fact that they would even.
Sorry, one moment, please. That was faster. There's a little premature ejaculation going on there. Okay, ready, push play.
Oh, yeah. My name's Jeremy Mackenzie. I'm a Canadian Forces Afghanistan combat veteran. I deployed with the 2nd Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment in 2007 to fight these people, actually, to fight Omar Khadr's extended family. They're all participate. They love the Taliban, which he was a member of. And I absolutely detest and abhor the fact that they would even call him such a thing as a child soldier. Calling him a soldier at all is an insult to the Waffen-SS. Let alone me. These are not people that wear uniforms. These are not people that obey things like the rules of war or the Geneva Conventions. They use women and children as human shields. They burn people with acid for not reading the right magic books. They're horrendous. They're monstrous human beings. They were raping children. They didn't care. They would blow up as many of their own civilians as they would do us. It didn't matter at all. And now Canada is leaving $150 million on the table meant for veterans because, well, we just don't have the time for that. While the government spends more money since 1870 than any other government in Canadian history. And in this environment, no, we just don't have enough money. But we will make Omar Khadr, the Taliban terrorist, a multimillionaire. And we're going to tell everybody that's got a problem with that to leave the building and leave the premises, including me, including other Canadian Forces veterans. And I have to be here to say this because many of the people from my platoon that were killed by Omar Khadr's little club aren't here to say that anymore. They're all dead. Chris Stanix isn't here anymore. Sergeant Donnie Lucas isn't here anymore. So that's why I'm here, because this is outrageous. This is a travesty. And I'm sick of staying home and staying on the couch and watching everybody just not say anything, because this is wrong. This is not what Canada stands for. It's not the country that I signed up to fight for, and it is certainly not the country that those men and women died for when I was over there fighting against him and his family and his friends. So I guess I'm the bad guy now. If that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be.
Well, I guess that's how it's going to be. You are the bad guy, motherfucker. But you know what? So that was his debut. Mm-hmm. And then right away, Anti-Hate has an article on him and this Gunner Rope book, what they also did with Donald Best.
So quick clarification here from the chat. Thank you very much. So the Turner Diaries is a race war book. The Day of the Rope is written by Devin Stack. It's similar, but about pedos.
So what's the big deal about that? I'm okay with killing pedos.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. The Turner Diaries was killing racial enemies and race traitors. So we're conflating the two books together.
Well, isn't that what Haley wanted us to do? I don't know. There was a message. We got a message. Okay, Mr. Schmidt.
Oh, and here's a good comment. Rachel Gilmore carries Ginger Midget on her chest in a baby sling.
Yeah, she definitely does. She definitely does. So we've got that stuff now. Where was I going with this? Oh, that Dalhousie event. Okay, everyone. This stuff all matches. Okay, really quick, opening up our group. Donald Best. Yeah, we totally are going off of. Sorry, Holly. We're off our script.
That's okay.
Heritage Front. I'm just going to the page. Could you just get to the fucking page? Thank you. Okay. I'm going to scroll up and then I'm going to share the page. All right. Sorry. Why is there so much stuff on this page? My God, it's like we put so much work into it.
I know, it's crazy.
And like I said, we will never have full transparency from these people because they're all compulsive liars. They're all getting paid. Everybody's getting paid except for the people who they're victimizing along the way. Okay. So let's go back to, and I want to also point out again, it was the brilliant Haley who pointed out this connection between Donald Best and this person. Okay, let's go here. Sorry. Okay. We are having. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. I got it. Jesus.
Welcome to our professionally engineered.
We're not professionals, but you know what? You're gonna get what you get. Oh,
you know what? I can't wait.
We can't share Telegram.
Yeah, we can.
How do I do it? Oh, window. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so before I forget, this is what the headline is. Before I forget, you see the photo from the article above, the little man with white hair. It's a photo of Donald Best beside Romeo Dallaire. Okay, so when we click on who Romeo Dallaire is, Holly, will you read that? Sorry.
Barely see it.
He's a retired Canadian politician, a military officer who was a senator from Quebec from 2005 2014, lieutenant general in the Canadian Armed Forces. He notably was the force commander in UNAMIR, the ill-fated United Nations peacekeeping force for Rwanda between 1993 and 1994, and for trying to stop the genocide that was being waged by Hutu extremists against Tutsis. Dallaire is a senior fellow at the Montreal Institute for Genocide and Human Studies, and co-director of MIGS Will to Intervene project. Okay, Romeo Dallaire is the man who put on the event for Omar Khadr, the one that Jeremy Mackenzie was standing outside of crying like a little pussy about and reading a speech trying to entrap a bunch of Canadians, because what he said is very sensible. It is very sensible. I agree. We shouldn't be giving money to terrorists, especially when our veterans don't have money. But he wasn't doing it for that reason. Let's be honest. He was doing it for subversive reasons. So we've got, again, Donald Best is now hanging out with that guy that put on the event. Jeremy Mackenzie's at the event. Like we just, sorry.
The connections.
It just keeps overlapping. It continues and continues and continues. Okay, so we've got all that done. Now what am I looking? Now where am I? See, this is so hard for me to stay focused on because it's so convoluted. Oh, I know. I do know, Holly. We're going to look at this video on YouTube. I'm not going to do the W5. I'll do the shorter one, Holly.
Yes, okay.
It's still 30 minutes, but we're going to break it up. We're going to interrupt so that we don't get in too much trouble, maybe. We're probably going to get in trouble, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, so for just a preamble about this, if we do get struck by YouTube, please follow us on Rumble at The Real Housewives of Alberta. We're always available there, and we never get in trouble there. So
yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, so make sure if you're watching us on YouTube, just subscribe to our Rumble channel. We go live there every Tuesday, same time. We simulcast on both, just in case.
Okay, I'm going all the way back to the beginning. Pause. Okay, we're going to start this, and I don't know, good luck. But it explains a lot, and then we're going to get into the SSC. Yeah. I'm sorry if you've already heard all this, but I don't know how else to send this message home to people. You are being fucked with by your government.
Yes. You're being psyoped.
Big time. And it's not going to end well. It really isn't.
It's going to end just like Heritage Front did, actually.
This is Grant Bristow. He's standing in front of Dachau concentration camp. He's a self-avowed anti-racist. So if I told you he was there with Canada's top neo-Nazis, would that shock you? The group would begin loudly and passionately denying the Holocaust and were eventually harassed out of the camp. How Grant ended up in this situation is a long and complicated tale that is affecting life even today. Some think this social chameleon somehow engineered the rise of the alt-right white power movement in the 1990s, under the guise of outing members to destroy neo-Nazism in Canada. Instead of destroying it, he paradoxically fostered it, using taxpayer dollars to bankroll the scheme. There are some others that think that his work was effective
want me to
in
pause
putting
it, Holly?
names of dangerous offenders in the hands of people who could put them away. Let's dive in.
Just say pause when you want me to pause.
Yep, I'll say pause.
Okay, you just let your face look like you wanted me to pause it. Okay.
No, because there's a part coming up pretty quick that I want to pause on for sure.
Did you watch this one?
Is this the first link you shared in the chat?
No, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's the second, but maybe. You'll know when you see it. Okay,
Yep.
bye-bye.
This video is amazing. So who's the person that made this one? We have to
I will find out when I can close the screen.
Yeah. This is a huge deep dive into the Heritage Front and what happened.
But it's only 30 minutes, so it's better than some of the other options.
Yeah.
Those are all questions SSC members should be asking themselves.
Yeah. Ask questions. If you can ask questions of your leader, then you know you're a good part of a good group. If you are not allowed to ask questions, then you end up starting a live stream called Real Housewives of Alberta.
Grant was born in Winnipeg on February 16, 1958. His father worked for the Canadian Department of National Defence, and his mother was a banker. He enjoyed a comfortable life until 11 years later when his parents would divorce. His mother gained custody and remarried, moving Grant and his brother to Halifax and eventually to Toronto, where they would build their new family. He excelled at school and found he could make new friends easily, a trait that would come in handy later in life. Grant says that his mother was keen on civil rights and imbued him with a sense of right and wrong when it came to racial inequality. A friend whose family was nearly wiped out during the Holocaust would expand his views on anti-Semitism. His social chameleon act was so successful he would join various private investigation firms after graduating from community college in Toronto with a business degree. At the same time, he took a job at a strip club called Le Strip at 237 Yonge Street. The club was owned by comedian Don Cullen, who was unimpressed by Bristow after watching
how it was
comedy during an open mic night.
how it was
Testing
working at
his
the
skills
strip
at
club,
social
pretending he
manipulation,
was
Grant
the
claimed that he was the
actual,
assistant manager of the club when talking to patrons. While in
bouncer
truth, he
instead
was
of
the
the assistant
Don
manager.
remembers him as a
Holly, I
conspiracy
can't
nut who
not
really
hear
wanted
you.
to become a police
Oh,
officer.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Grant
Just
would be fired after being caught drinking on
hold
the
on. I
job.
can pause.
Thankfully for him, the private investigation business
Pause.
picked up.
Hold on. Let's pause. Let's go back a bit. What were you saying?
No, I find that so funny that he worked for the strip club, and basically he was just kind of like a runner, a go-to guy, assistant or whatever, but he tried to convince people that he was actually the assistant manager and ended up getting fired because he tried his hand at comedy and sucked at it.
Well, I could see it because he sucks at everything he does. If Grant Bristow is Donald Best, he sucks at everything he does. All right, push play. That's why he had to marry a woman from Thailand. He had to go to Thailand and find a fucking wife.
Ooh,
so
snap.
Pathetic. Okay, push play.
237 Yonge Street. The club was owned by comedian Don Cullen, who was unimpressed by Bristow after watching him attempt comedy during an open mic night. Testing his skills at social manipulation, Grant claimed that he was the assistant manager of the club when talking to patrons, while in truth, he was the DJ. Don remembers him as a conspiracy nut who really wanted to become a police officer. Grant would be fired after being caught drinking on the job. Thankfully for him, the private investigation business picked up and he was able to stay afloat. In 1986, he accepted a position as a security investigator at the shipping giant Kuehne & Nagel, while still moonlighting in the PI business. The same year, he was contracted by a South African diplomat to spy on anti-apartheid protesters in Canada, under the premise that he would be providing them security. After talking to a friend about it, he was told to contact CSIS, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. CSIS is a whole video into itself, so I'll keep it brief. It's the child of the RCMP Security Service, initially called the RCMP Intelligence Section. The department would spy on suspected communists, unionists, and Marxists across Canada. In 1962, now the Directorate of Security Intelligence, it would spy on various separatist groups like the FLQ. A new decade and a new name, the 70s brought the new RCMP Security Service and a new scandal when they were caught cataloging separatist Parti Québécois members all under the guise of a money laundering investigation. Prior to the formation of CSIS, the RCMP-SS was accused of a string of B&Es and fire bombings. More would come out when one of the homemade bombs went off in an officer's hand. The jig was up. The RCMP went back to being federal cops, and CSIS was now the head of intelligence after being created in 1984. One of the first tasks, tame the growing far-right nationalist movement across Canada. January 29th, 1986, and Bristow was asked by a CSIS member if he could create a dossier on these South African diplomats while providing security. He obliged, and by March, he was collecting information for them. In August, thanks to Bristow's investigation, one South African diplomat would be deported, and 4 others would be barred from entering Canada. CSIS now considered him an asset, someone they can trust when called upon, and wasn't strictly on the payroll. It was the perfect scenario for Grant. He gets to play spy once in a while and still gets a steady paycheck from Coonan and Nagel. February of 1987, and CSIS called on him again. His next assignment, infiltrate the Canadian far right and collect evidence. Grant immediately got to work. When chatting with coworkers, he would slip racist remarks into conversations until he got the reputation he desired. In 1987, he would find an in through a friend of a friend named Matt.
So does anyone see a correlation to what's happening now with a certain live streamer that went from hanging out with people of all colors and creeds and races to all of a sudden becoming a extremist, racist, white power dude
with a porn stash,
with a
and a tiny pickle? Yes, I do see a parallel, but and not to forget, listen, Jeremy's not alone. He's got that stupid fucker Alex doing it too. And Alex was sleeping with a Jewish woman. Sleeping with a Jewish woman. He did not hate the Jews. Blackie Chan didn't hate them.
Cuddling with a Muslim man.
Yeah. No, these guys are full of shit.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a teeny tiny, very unlikely realm of possibility that in the 2 weeks between Alex moving out of my house and the 2 weeks of him returning on his stream, that I guess he could have become radicalized and become a skinhead, because that's exactly what happened. He came back like Hail Hitler and with a shaved head and fuck the Jews and whatever and fuck the Pakis, and he was just fucking out of control. That is not the man that lived in my house for 2 years. I promise.
Yeah, radicalization doesn't.
Your hair looks good. Sorry.
Yes, your hair looks beautiful. Radicalization doesn't happen that fast, and to do such a quick 180 switch, to me, is insanely suspect. Where it's like, okay, here's your operating papers now. You need to actually be super racist, not just pro-Canadian.
When we were in the middle of that, I got doxxed for being a Nazi before any of them did.
Yes, John A was the original.
Any of them. Yeah. Red Deer Antifa decided that I needed to be doxxed.
Red Deer.
I remember. Do you remember when we were in the chats when Jeremy would get mad and Alex would get mad at the Wignats and tell them to get the fuck out of their groups and get out of their conversation? They don't need a bunch of Wignats running around.
Yeah, I was a part of policing it.
Yep.
They hated it and they would make fun of them. I didn't even know what Wignat was because I was so new to everything. I didn't know and I had to ask, but now they are the Wignat. It's just, you guys, this is disingenuous. I hope somebody is watching and they actually take this sincerely, because we're not wasting our time.
None of them are. They're all going to be diluted, and until something happens, like exactly what happened to us or anybody else that was shunned from the cult, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see it because they don't want to see it.
I guess not.
And there are going to be like a sad few that end up, arrested or fucking whatever else just because they followed these idiots.
Yeah. Nope, that's already happened anyways, but yes. Okay, should I push play again?
Just pause for 1 second. We got another Rumble rant from Von D for $10. Thank you
Von
again.
D. You're so rich.
So Von D says, Shawnee brings unique happiness when she shows up to this show.
Are you saying that Holly and I are not happy?
We don't bring unique happiness. We bring other kinds of happiness.
I don't bring happiness.
Oh,
he spelled it as penis. But I think your hair looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank
All
you.
right, let's roll. I'm gonna push play. Thank you, Vondi. Thank you, Shawnee, for your beautiful face.
French.
Thanks,
Since he
Bondi.
allegedly
No
knew
hard
nothing about
feelings.
modern nationalism, the CSIS handler would provide him with a quick overview and told him to read the Turner Diaries, an unhinged fever dream of a novel written by delusional white supremacist William Luther Pierce. He tried his best to use French as an intro into the movement, but it failed. His second attempt in 1988 met with much more success. He was put in contact with Don Andrews, the face of modern racism in Ontario. Born in Sarajevo in 1942, Don Andrews started life as Willem. His father was killed by Nazis and his mother was shipped to Germany post-occupation and used as slave labor. Willem was shoved in an orphanage and forgotten about. When the war ended, she was told he had died in a bombing raid, so she remarried a Canadian forceman named Frederick Andrews and moved to Toronto. Meanwhile, Willem was enjoying time in a communist youth group organized by Tito's Yugoslavia. While on vacation, he would break his leg and end up in a Red Cross hospital. This is how his mother would find him. In 1952, the family would be reunited in Toronto, and his name would be changed to Donald Andrews as he would fit in better with Canadian society. In the 60s, Don would form the Edmund Burke Society with some other college students. They were anti-communist, pro-Vietnam War, and not afraid to be open about their racist views. Don became a landlord in his adult life and used that money to bankroll a very comfortable lifestyle and rub elbows with the racist riffraff.
Don Andrews?
EBS would try to get into the Ontario provincial government by running
That's really weird. We just have a Don Andrews around here. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of Don Andrewses, but it's just weird.
Well, you could rewind it, take his picture, go walk up to him, find out if they're together, if this is the guy. Okay, push and play.
The Social Credit Party. Once found, they would be kicked out and the society dissolved in 1972. That did little to discourage Don, and he would start the Western Guard Party, very much an offshoot of the EBS, and this time not hiding behind communism or the Vietnam War. They were outright racist and anti-Semitic, and they weren't embarrassed to be known as such. In 1975, Don would be arrested for illegal weapons possession. The following investigation would uncover a plot to bomb the Israeli soccer team's dressing room. Don would get away without a conviction, but he couldn't be involved in the Western Guard Party anymore. That didn't mean he couldn't start a new party, and in 1977, Don would start the Nationalist Party of Canada. Don was Grant's ace in the hole. This was where the operation would really make headway, as long as he could get a position within the party. So he dedicated himself to the act. He was no longer Grant Bristow, failed comedian rent-a-cop who liked to drink and had a long-term girlfriend. He was Grant
There's
Bristow,
the other
a recovering
coincidence.
alcoholic and
Oh, hold on,
passionate
I'll
white
pause it 1
supremacist.
second.
He lived alone, but
1
no
second,
one was ever
pause.
invited to his house.
What were you saying?
That's another coincidence. You notice a lot of these guys are failed comedians and want to be
Bouncers.
rent-a-cops. Didn't make special forces cuts or anything like that. They're a bunch of fucking failures.
If they are failures, if they are failures, there's a chance that I do believe truly, I really believe that Alex's friend was brought in as an asset to control shit because Jeremy was out of control and he was getting in trouble. Alex is not a drunk. He's not,
Absolutely. I told you, I thought what brought him in, all the taxes he owes to the Canadian government. They probably said, oh, we'll make this go away. Your taxes for your business go away if you infiltrate this. I mean, I don't know that any of that's absolutely true, but I do know for a fact that he was having issues with his taxes.
Yeah, and
he
Alex
was about ready before he became the Diagolon meme man. He was talking about killing himself because of that.
Alex did talk openly about how he knew people in
At
CSIS,
CSIS,
and they're
yeah.
very good people, and he spoke very well of CSIS, and he was very close friends with agents in CSIS.
Yeah.
So that correlation there between how Heritage Front started and the SSE is fairly clear, allegedly.
It is. And when CSIS came to talk to me the first time, they didn't ask shit about Jeremy. They didn't ask a fucking thing about anybody else, only Alex. And I'm going to be honest with you. It felt like a debrief. I'm not a cop, but I mean, I watch enough interrogation videos and everything. They wanted to know, what is he doing after he's off the stream? What they said, what does he listen to? What TV shows does he watch? It was very weird. It was like they wanted to debrief to make sure their agent, whatever, was still doing what he was supposed to do, and not doing anything he wasn't supposed to do. So I told the truth. He listened. No, he didn't even. He watched The Office on repeat and listened to his Harry Potter audiobooks. It was fucking. He was like a giant man child. Oh, and Home Alone, Home Alone. That was his favorite movie.
Aww.
Yeah, no, that's how he got to stay for 2 years, you guys. But yeah, so they asked that, and that was weird to me because I felt like you would think they would be asking me about other things or whatever, but it was that. Okay, I'll push play again.
And he had no family. They all drowned in a tragic boating accident on Lake Winnipeg while he was at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. In the last quarter of 1988, Grant was finally nose-to-nose with the cream of the neo-Nazi crop and started the newly dubbed Operation Governor. All CSIS wanted was facts, names, addresses, phone numbers, and intentions of the group he had become friendly with. They didn't care how he got the information, but they did caution him that he was getting a little too into character. A note on his file reads, "The source appears to be somewhat overzealous, which may compromise his confidentiality. Security precautions should be reinforced, and his progression in the field should be carefully monitored and directed." Undeterred by the CSIS worrywarts, Grant dove headfirst into the party. What he found didn't exactly impress him. The movement was only made up of at most 300 people. The majority lived under the poverty line and had very little in the way of education. Grant pivoted. If the current members weren't the real danger, he would follow the money and expose the real source of the movement. He buddied up with Don, and in April of 1989 would be connected with Wolfgang Droege. The former printer from Capital Business Forms had made a name for himself in the BC KKK when he and a few other clan members plotted to take over the Caribbean island of Dominica. Wolfgang would be in and out of prison for cocaine and weapons charges in the States for most of the year.
Canada had KKK.
Alone, he returned to Canada under the helpful wing of the
but it wasn't even real. That's the
since
thing.
his BC KKK chapter had closed in his absence. That put him in direct line with Bristow, and the two of them would change the face of nationalism in Canada for the next
Weird.
decade.
It is weird.
Oh, it just pisses me off how they use the Algies rune too.
How they use which?
The Algies rune.
Yeah, that Shawnee. Okay, so Shawnee, honestly, if had Jeremy respected her on not using the runes, she might not have fucking gone full fucking retard.
Oh yeah, fuzzy knuckles. Fucking Alex with literal, it spells fuzz on his fucking knuckles. It says nothing. He's a fucking idiot.
Yes, well, but we never said they were super smart.
Ugh.
Super manipulative.
After years of nosing around in his nationalist party as their security advisor, he had learned everything there was to learn, and it was a dead end. Droege, on the other hand, was completely different. He was passionate, active, unafraid, and the people he surrounded himself with were just as excited. Grant immediately found his new rabbit to chase down the hole. With Droege running promotions for the Nationalists, the new members of the party were no longer destitute hangers-on of Don Andrews' cult. These were college-educated, middle-class young adults who all had bright futures ahead of them, if it wasn't for their obtuse views.
Just want to say that that was the same fucking kind of people that they're targeting now. It is.
And it sucks because there's a difference between what they're doing and healthy nationalism.
Did you? I didn't even realize that. Did you know?
Oh
this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you guys, I could see him being that arrogant, putting using the runes. We think it says "fuck you, make me," but he's actually just telling it. I don't know. Could be. Okay, continue on. Can I continue on? Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Okay, push play.
Of a fair society. Grant would be an effective mirror to whatever Drogi said, keeping the echo chamber open to have things escalate. And escalate they did. Drogi began to have delusions of grandeur and envisioned himself in charge of the white power scene in Canada. He mulled around the idea of starting his own organization, toying with the names the Society for the Preservation of the White Race and the White Heritage Foundation. Grant had an eager ear and an agreeable voice. After all, this could be lucrative. All he had to do was get Drogi alone and push him to branch out. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi hosted a party in August of 1989 for mutual haters of Zionism and American society. He invited leaders from the extreme left and the extreme right, meaning both Don and Wolfgang, plus 15 other nationalists, received an all-expenses-paid trip to Libya. Don would drop out due to legal troubles and told Wolfgang to choose an appropriate replacement. Naturally, he brought along Grant. The entire ordeal was far from smooth, but it did give Bristow a lot of time to Drogi.
Holly, I'm muting you, okay?
About the nationalists.
I muted myself.
Drogi was done with Don Andrews. He was ineffective and lazy. Wolfgang wanted to do something new, something bold, something that would really put life into the collective far right. Grant played his role and egged him on. Drogi proposed that with their incomes combined, they could start a new movement called the Heritage Front and really shake up Canadian society. The trip turned out to be a perfect catalyst to get Grant where he wanted to be, as the trusted head of an organization that could catalog every white supremacist across Canada. He was so confident in the plan, when Drogi was arrested in Chicago on the way back from Libya, Grant pulled some strings at the Canadian embassy. Using the money the Libyans had given them, he got Wolfgang a lawyer, and eventually, he was deported back to Canada. However, things were not happy between Grant and CSIS. The Libyan trip was a hell of a task. The group nearly got detained in Rome and had to take a slow boat from Malta to Tripoli. The Chicago detention was the final straw.
Magnum PI.
He needed Drogi to make this happen, and CSIS was forcing him to nearly blow his cover. This was the first time Bristow had an out. He could go home and union bust for Kuna and Nagel for the rest of his life. He would be Grant Bristow
I just want to pause 1 second.
Instead of whoever he was now.
Pause. Hold on. Look at this pic, guys. Look at this picture of Bristow. This, oh, come on, you fucker. Come on. It's right here. No, the fucking one in the newspaper. Whatever. It looks like, to me, it looks like Jeremy right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Some of the shit they were talking about.
Of Canadian hate.
Yeah.
Grant would be the security chief.
Like it was even the same mannerisms, and then the stupid fucking vagina in his hands.
He would try to redirect the group's thoughts, usually through money-making ventures like security agents or repossessing cars.
Holly, should I mute you again?
So that when a few members came to Drogi with suspicions that Grant was an informant, he outright dismissed the claims without even looking into them. As the front grew more confident, violent plans would come to surface. CSIS reminded Grant that any illegal activities weren't sanctioned. If he so much vandalized a street sign, he would lose his position. In September of 1990, he was contacted by Heritage Front member Craig Zanotti and his friend Sean McGuire. They had a plan to spread a virus through the food crops in Canada to disrupt the food chain. After meeting with the two university students, Wolfgang hatched a plan to sell the idea to the Iraqi
Oh wait, that looked like Jeremy.
Right? Once again echoed
with the fucking juice schnoz.
Yes.
Thankfully, the plan was a total failure thanks to shoddy science. Grant had
You
just
think we're
dodged
stupid,
a potential
KJV,
huge
Michael?
fiasco, and he was getting concerned about how brazen and bold the ideas had become at the front.
So another Rumble rant, this time from Messerschmitt. So for $10.
Thank you, Messerschmitt.
Thank you very much. So he says, Rocky, what did CSIS ask you after you exposed Best? Did they ask you about that subject?
No. So I got there and they were just sort of staring. And they're like, how's things been? And I was like chomping at the bit because I'm like, okay, we both fucking know why you called me. Okay. I just did this big stream that night before. Like, I'm not dumb. You guys, because they wanted to meet with me right away. They said, when's convenient. And that was the day Aaron decided to be a psycho and not let me take the truck. So I said, I have to go to Lethbridge, so you have to drive up there. So they drove 2.5 hours out of the way to meet with me. And then I ended up bringing it up because it was like painful, guys. It was like 2 minutes of sitting there just waiting for someone to bring it up. I know 2 minutes doesn't sound long to you, but that's long to me. And so I said, I'm like, so you hear obviously about the stream last night. And they said, or I said about Grant Bristow, and they said, "Oh, who's that? I'm not familiar." And then I laughed immediately. I just laughed. I said, "Bullshit!" Like I couldn't even like. And the thing is like they didn't look that serious. Like they were just like, "What?" And then they kept saying we can't confirm or deny. I'm like, "Okay, but the fact that you're here tells me you can't."
Yeah.
They're like, then they did ask, so why do you believe what you believe? And I told them exactly the truth, exactly what I did. I said, I'm looking for the farmhouse that I didn't know you guys had out in Ottawa that the Heritage Front used. And I wanted to see if the Heritage Front's farm was the same as the farmhouse that we went to in Ottawa. And I was searching and searching and searching. And then I just got tired. It was 2:30 in the morning looking at this fucking face of this Grant Bristow guy. I was just looking, trying to think of where else I could look. And I thought, oh, he's got little devil eyebrows. That's it. And I thought, there's somebody else with devil eyebrows. I know there is. And I looked at everybody we know and not know, everybody like involved in these groups. And then boom, Donald Best. I'm like, holy fuck. So I told them the truth, but they can't confirm or deny. But the fact that they met with me and had to meet with me and drove out of the way 2.5 hours tells me everything I need to know. I mean, why else would they do that?
Right.
And also, Measure Schmidt, thank you so much. Okay, I'm pushing play again.
By the late 1990s, Grant was buddying up to Ernst Zundel, Canada's premier exporter of racist and anti-Semitic literature. Zundel was what Grant called a payday Nazi, spreading hate not to create a different society, but to get paid for their delusions. Regardless, Zundel had a huge voice around the world and would promote the Heritage Front regularly. Word got out west, and in 1991, Grant found himself hopping on a plane to talk to Terry Long and Al Hooper, two leaders of sister BC and Alberta area nationalist factions. Welcoming him with a warm reception, Bristow was provided with complete information of all their members under the guise of setting up a white supremacist computer network. He had successfully unearthed the roster of the entire Western Canadian hate movement in a matter of months. CSIS was obviously pleased with him. In early 1991, they allowed Grant to take some time off, and he booked a flight to London. Unfortunately for him, before he could get back to Canada, he would have to meet Zundel and Drogi in Germany for a skinhead fan rally. Zundel would be arrested after starting a riot in Munich, so Drogi hatched another plan. Take a trip to Dachau and educate the public. This is the origin of the photo at the start of the episode. That's Grant Bristow, the anti-racist pro-Semite about to get kicked out of Dachau because his business partner was going to start teaching class in perhaps the worst place to do it. They escaped Germany without any arrests, and in May of 1991, they would be providing security personnel for the Reform Party, all free of charge. Reform were a new federal conservative party that was rapidly growing.
I do want to point out one thing. The Reform Party, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Manning, right? Yeah, he is very big involved still. So he is the one that headed up, what is it called? The National Inquiry for vaccines. And I don't remember the actual name of it. Anyways, it was Manning's, that is Manning's startup. Again, these people are all still intertwined. No matter what no matter what way you cut it, they're all intertwined. Plus, the Manning Party, in my opinion, really reflects the PPC, which we all know they were all involved with. Like the people from today were all involved with the PPC. Jeremy was, Greg Wycliffe, the Dominion Party, all of them, PPC. And again, PPC, another distraction. But okay, back to the
PPC. Look at my wiener.
In popularity across Canada. With their help, Heritage Front members like Alan Overfield would gain political influence within Toronto's Beaches Woodbine district, now Beaches East York. The party in the front grew very close, even allowing Bristow to provide personal security for its leader, Preston Manning, on multiple occasions. By September of that year, the Heritage Front would have their first public rally in Toronto, open up their hate hotline, and would even have their rallies televised on local news. The party flourished with new recruits. High schools, universities, and...
That's what they're doing now, guys. They're having their rallies and their whatever bullshit. It's being published on the news. Well, of course
They
it is.
thought they were going to be Rockwell, and they fucking aren't.
Yeah. No, they're not. So yeah, so it's just, but this is like, if anybody who's watching can see, it's literally the same.
The pattern. And remember what I was saying earlier about like the political climate when all the Charlottesville stuff happened, and how social media kind of ramped up on all the hate speech and whatever. Well, the same thing is happening now, almost 10 years later.
Exactly. No, this is like, I don't know. It's frustrating to watch it and then try to explain it to people, especially because it's so convoluted. It's very hard to explain. Okay, continue.
Colleges would be bombarded with leaflets and posters asking young Canadians to join the front so they could save the white race. Among them was Elisa Hadigan, a 16-year-old Romanian runaway. The girl would be used as the face of the...
I just want to follow up with that. We all knew who this fucking bitch is, okay? So she not only was involved in Heritage Front, okay, and was like their spokesperson or whatever, she ends up involved in Diagolon. She is the co-author to the Hategate report, which is supposed to make Jeremy Mackenzie look like a victim and politically persecuted, an innocent man. How does that same person end up in there? Oh, and let's not forget her last name. She changed her name in 2011. Her last name is no longer Hadigan. Her last name now is Ferryman Cohen. And what is Alex's handle?
Ferryman.
Right. So, like, guys, it's frustrating the fuck out of me because it's so obvious.
If anybody wants to, it would be really cool if you would take the article, or not, it's not even an article, it's a PDF from the Canadian, whatever your guys' information site is.
Yeah.
Basically a whole report talking about how the investigation went with Heritage Front, and is there not one...
We do have it on the Donald Best page. Shawnee, it's on our Donald Best page. I uploaded it there.
Okay.
So you guys can look there too. All the info's there.
Compare them. It sounds exactly the fucking same.
Yes, because they are exactly the same. And like, they think we're so stupid. That's what pisses me off. Because I'm not like I'm not a genius, okay? And I figured out some of these things. I'm like, oh, okay, I see a pattern again. Stop treating Canadians like we're stupid, because it started to piss us off. You're gonna make me an extremist.
That's the hard part about being a pattern noticer.
Yeah, I know. I hate it. Okay, all right, push and play.
Of the Heritage Front. All the rallies and the new members caught the attention of Richard Butler and his Idaho-based Aryan Nations, a nationwide American hate network. The front was invited to a gathering in 1991 and sent Bristow and Sean McGuire as emissaries. Grant recalls it being the largest gathering of dangerous white supremacists he had ever seen. Louis Beam, the man who inspired Timothy McVeigh to bomb Oklahoma City, was the guest of honor. Grant found more Western Canadian nationalists at the meetup, receiving advice and training that they could bring back to Canada. CSIS received a full report. In the second quarter of 1992, Droege would invite Tom Metzger to Toronto for a hate rally. Bristow would provide security as always. The rally was a huge success, enough to garner new attention from anti-fascist and anti-racist groups across North America. Metzger would be arrested and deported back to the US thanks to Grant's tips, but he now had a bigger issue at hand. He had lost his day job for being identified as a Heritage Front member, and Droege was calling for an all-out war with the left. Once the anti-Heritage Front groups entered the picture in numbers, Droege let slip the dogs of war. The hateful rhetoric was ramped up to ridiculous levels, calling for violence against the Front's enemies. So Bristow says that he tried to quell the inevitable clash by...
So the anti whatever groups, this is the precursor to Antifa.
Yeah, for sure.
So Antifa was an organization that started in Europe many, many years before this. And this is what moved into Canada. They rebranded, or they didn't use the Antifa actual name, because in this here, it wasn't trendy to fight against like fascism.
Yeah.
Because everyone back at that time understood what actual fascism was.
Right.
They had to pre-engineer the normal people to understand that fascism just meant people that disagree with me. So this group here, I actually looked into something. This group here was the precursor to Antifa in Canada.
So they're cunts too. Great.
Directing efforts to a harassment campaign. He would start a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hate hotline.
Sorry, the harassment campaign. Guys, girls. Anybody who's ever heard about the Cheeseburger Casino, okay? You know what the harassment campaign's like. These fucking guys do it. That is literally their playbook. Yes,
sure.
Right? It never
I was
ends.
a part of it.
Yeah, I know, me too. I wasn't actually
Make fake accounts and fucking harass people.
Yeah, but they make it seem like it's really good. But it isn't. It's stupid. It's stupid.
They didn't like it too much though, and it turned around and the rabbit had the gun.
No, they did not like it. And that was fun. And I want to say thank you to Messerschmitt and Femikaze and Holly and Shanae. Thank you for fucking having my back during that. Was the most fucked up thing I've ever experienced. And it was a hate campaign. It was worst ever. And I couldn't have done it without all your memes. So yeah. Okay, I'm pushing play.
Sorry, pumpkin.
We love you. I still sent you a fucking Christmas present. So yeah. Okay, I'm pushing play.
Staffed by the front's loyal members. They would gather phone numbers and addresses from anti-front activists and have people call them non-stop until they would give up information on similarly minded activists. This was called the IT campaign, and whoever was it would never stop receiving hate until they cracked. The front would use this to catalog information for future attacks and harassment campaigns. Grant mentions that this was the plan that he passed by his CSIS handlers to stop the violence from escalating, and they approved it. In fact, they didn't provide any alternative plan, so the hate campaign continued. Seeing rallies turned into bloodier and bloodier conflicts, Bristow would have to get a larger target to distract the restless front members. Posing as Trevor Graham, a reporter for the Ottawa Citizen, he would get business cards and interviews from the...
Pause. Nathan Black also did that after he was out. Nathan Black was Grant Bristow's second alias. And he would pretend he was media, and he got in big shit with the mayoral campaign in Edmonton for doing this. So like, again, they fucking do the same things over and over.
Heads of target organizations, all in the hopes of appeasing the bloodlust. But there was only so long he could keep the violence at bay. May 29th, 1993.
Heritage Front member George Birdie and his band Racial Holy War,
or Rahawa for short, were playing a recruitment concert. On his order, roughly 60 Heritage Front members marched up to the Toronto War Memorial to engage with roughly 500 anti-front activists.
Alicia Rexon's nose was personally kicked in by Birdie.
Her face would be used to display the levels of violence now caused by the front. At the end of the battle, the front was outmatched and had to run. The victory that Droege was searching for didn't materialize, and a few prominent front members caught assault charges. Just as he had tired of Don Andrews' leadership of the Nationalist Party, so the members of the Heritage Front were getting tired of Droege's leadership. Splinter groups would form, most being unopposed to even worse violence than the Heritage Front ever committed to, and all of them were outside of Bristow.
Does that sound familiar?
After foiling a robbery.
Yeah. Yes.
Splinter groups start. So we've got the SSC, we've got the Dominion.
Right? No, they're doing it all again.
Yeah, we got the Freedom Fighter slow roll farmer dudes. We got the Ostrich Farm. They're all splintering into their own little factions
of bullshit to keep us distracted, to keep us from fucking actually doing anything that we should be focused on.
Yeah.
It's so insulting.
From one of these splinter organizations, Grant would hit his apogee. Trying to get a semblance of a normal life, he married his longtime girlfriend in a secretive ceremony. He lied and said he was going on a business trip and would take a honeymoon to New York and try to forget about his double life. When he returned, he discovered that he was now the full leader of the Heritage Front. Droege had been arrested for assaulting someone, leaving Grant as the de facto head of the front. This wasn't the same front he started years ago.
I just want to point out, do you guys remember what happened when Jeremy Mackenzie went to jail or rehab or where the fuck he went? Do you remember what happened? Who took over?
Oh.
Who took over?
Weird.
I know.
Okay, I thought you were actually asking him like Ferryman did.
I was being sarcastic because so his the second in command took over.
Wait, second, he wasn't necessarily the second in command. The second in command was passed over because he was a complete buffoon.
Yeah, Derek couldn't function at all. There was no way Derek would be able to handle all that. Ew, he's so gross.
Could you imagine slamming all that fucking Alberta whiskey and be like, yeah, white power.
Ew. And his pee is brown. Ew.
Gross. See a doctor.
Yeah, no, he's fucking gross.
Hungry young adults that were looking for blood and didn't really care for Bristow's soft hand. They would dive into his backstory, how his family died, his relationship status, and his employment. One member would mention how fat he was getting, hinting at the possibility that he had a wife or a girlfriend on the side. The pressure was getting to Grant, and if Droege was convicted and went to jail, he would be under 24-hour scrutiny from front members. This was the time. He had done all he could do. Now, all he had to do was leave and go back to regular life. In March of 1994, he would do just that. 1993 had taken a hard toll on the Heritage Front. The hotline was shut down thanks to the Canadian Jewish Congress, and the rallies had mostly stopped since the organizers had all been put in jail. The Trans-Canadian Nationalist computer network had still not materialized, and Droege was starting to show the wear and tear of his constant on-the-go lifestyle. He was tired.
That sounds like an oxymoron. Canadian Jewish Congress.
Yeah, no, we actually have, dude, they're so heavily involved. They are.
It's like the ADL.
Yeah.
Lisa, the face of the youth portion of the front,
The bitch.
has defected thanks to a leftist socialist organization. They were now spreading truth about the inner workings of the front and how ridiculous it was. Grant Bristow would officially leave the Heritage Front at the end of March 1994. He said he yearned for a regular life with his wife and stepson, and none of us here at Dive In really blame him. He broke the news to Droege, who would openly shed tears, calling Bristow his closest and dearest friend. Grant would lie and reciprocate the statement. He told Wolfgang that he was taking a job east of Toronto and would return if possible.
Nathan Black,
the next reiteration.
Hold on, I'm going to pause this so Holly, you can say goodbye to everyone because Holly's leaving in 3 minutes.
Yes. So I just wanted to apologize to the chat for my dog barking.
Yeah. Forgive him.
He's a good boy. He protects the house.
All right. Thank you, Holly, for coming. We'll see you next Tuesday, okay? I'm going to hang up.
Next Tuesday.
I just want to say see you next Tuesday, everybody. Thank you.
But we're going to finish up, guys. We still only got 8 minutes of this video to get, and then I got to go through a couple SSC videos and Jeremy's fraudulent bank records. Okay, push play.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love you. Bye, honey.
Love you. Bye.
Likewise, he also closed out Operation Governor with
Hi.
CSIS. He
Thanks
says
for
they
coming
offered
along.
him a salaried job with the department, but he turned them down. Grant Bristow could now return to being just Grant Bristow. In August of 1994, Bristow would get a call from Toronto Sun reporter Bill Dunphy on his unlisted number. Dunphy received a top-secret document that listed Grant as a CSIS plant within the far right. The information was leaked from a top-secret read and destroy memo. The memo was originally addressed to former Progressive Conservative Solicitor General Doug Lewis and was regarding suspected white nationalists in the Canadian Airborne Regiment. The CIR is the same regiment who killed a Somali teen in cold blood. His assistant, Brian Francis McInnes, said he was disgusted how CSIS was handling the case. After losing his job, Brian decided to contact the media with the information he had. Brian's charges of espionage would be dropped and he would walk free. Returning to Dunphy and Bristow, Dunphy was adamant that the story had to break within 48 hours, despite Grant's protests. All he wanted from the meeting was Bristow's point of view and comments. He refused and rushed home to get his wife and stepson to safety. He called CSIS, and they arranged a whole new life for him. Grant Bristow was now Nathan Black, married to Katrina Black, and they were from St. Albert, Alberta, a bedroom community north of Edmonton. While stuck in a Toronto hotel room, the story broke and Grant nearly died from anxiety. The article was a scathing portrayal of the operation, saying that Grant created a new powerful fascist wave sweeping across Canada, all bankrolled by tax dollars. Now he wouldn't be safe anywhere, with both the far right and the public gunning for his head.
After a quick stay in Jasper, they would be placed in a very well-appointed new home.
One question is, Measure Schmidt, you might know, was anybody actually looking for this guy? Because guess what? When I decided to actually look into who he was, There is nothing. There's not even a fucking forum where people are bitching about, he betrayed us or anything. There's nothing. So were people actually vying for him, or is this just more bullshit?
In St. Albert. With 2 new cars and a reported $3,000 a month government allowance, Grant's position was almost enviable. He had the freedom to go to school for accounting and even attended his Jewish father-in-law's funeral in 1995. Bristow was seen wearing a yarmulke as one of the pallbearers, something he would have possibly been killed for a year ago. Little did he know, despite his best efforts at hiding, another Toronto reporter would find him. Using a picture of Bristow standing in front of a house and matching the stucco color, legendary investigative journalist Dale Bristow managed to find him and confront Grant while he was leaving the Sturgeon General Hospital. Bristow had broken his leg while skating, which meant that running away from Bristow was completely out of the question. As more information leaked, Grant's brother-in-law, Dan, came forward offering pictures and more information for a large cash payout. According to him, Grant was blabbing about his new arrangement at the funeral, so his exposure wasn't a surprise. As far as we can tell, no one took Dan up on his offer. CSIS shuffled them around again for protection, this time to Calgary in the interim. Grant would again watch from his hotel room as his new identity was broken down. The article included pictures of his wife, stepson, and even his home address. His new look of gaining 30 pounds, growing long hair, and shaving his beard was now broadcast to all of Canada. They would relocate to Edmonton for a few weeks until the hype died down, and would choose to return to St. Albert to face the controversy head-on. All 3 of them were done with running.
Thankfully, the public's interest in Grant died down quickly, partially due to the Oklahoma City bombing that happened around the same time.
The Canadian Security Intelligence Review Committee, or SIRC, would look into the whole debacle and come out with a surprisingly positive conclusion. In their eyes, Bristow did succeed in his mission, outing the majority of hate group members across Canada and actively trying to stop escalating violence with his phone scheme. His harassment campaign was deemed just legal enough to exonerate him of any wrongdoing. On the budget side of things, it's...
That is what CSIS said, because I was like, what the fuck? Because they were trying to get me to stop talking, told me that, that a lot of these guys are unstable and I should be careful kind of thing. And I was like, no, like, fuck, dude, if they're going to do something, then you kind of got a responsibility to do it. And they said it's awful but lawful. So, like, they just keep getting away with it all. But I do have a video after this to show you that is something that is no longer lawful, like it or not.
Estimated that in 7 years on the CSIS payroll, Grant used roughly $260 a month for expenses. That's roughly $21,840 for various things like food and travel. Once he had lost his job, CSIS fronted him a similar salary, roughly $30,000 to $41,000 a year for 2 years. They estimate he got roughly $79,000. Again, the SIRC saw this as a win and called Bristow ethical in his spending. The far-right infiltration of the Reform Party was also investigated. They were either found willfully ignorant or didn't care about the Heritage Front's morals. On June 19, 1991, Droege would publicly throw his and the Front's support behind Reform leader Preston Manning. Alan Overfield would be the most involved member in the Reform Party infiltration and was the contact when they needed free security at a rally in Ontario. On February 27, 1992, Bill Dunphy would contact the Reform Party regarding the infiltration, and a day later everything was laid bare to the public. By March, the party had mostly purged itself of the Heritage Front. Speaking of Bill Dunphy, he would be let go from the Toronto Sun soon after outing Bristow in a large layoff. He, along with many others, still believe the SIRC picked and chose their information so that the operation seemed like a success. He also says Bristow was much more involved in the Front's growth and reinvented neo-Nazism in Canada. He currently works as a freelance typist as of 2023. Elisa Hadigan would become a passionate anti-racist public
bullshit. She's a fucking
when she
fraud.
left the Front and spoke to the SIRC, she was not provided with the same protection package that they offered Grant. She took the same level of heat from her former comrades, but without any protection, and for that we believe she should be commended. For his attitude,
she's a fucking bitch, traitor, liar, fucking. She's a snake. Okay, go fucking write hate gate affair for someone else. You stupid bitch. Continue.
Towards her and his witness protection package, she has an intense and constant loathing for Grant Bristow. There are mentions in the SIRC's findings where it's noted how ill-tempered he was with her, but perhaps that was by design. The paper mentions how Grant was antagonistic towards all of the young recruits of the front. It seems to be a technique to force them out early. Elisa still claims that Grant was far more into the Heritage Front than he or CSIS let on.
In all her affidavits, she swears that Grant used far more than 21 grand and actively threatened people's lives. Add to that the constant recruitment for membership fees and pledge drives for donations, and she says that he made the front far more profitable than it should have been. He connected some incredibly dangerous people together and gave them skills to find information for harassment purposes, and possibly for something worse. He was constantly protected by CSIS at every turn, yet her and other defectors see no support. Perhaps the worst aspect of it is that despite all the information, not one of the Heritage Front members was ever convicted of anything based on the information Grant provided. Sure, they went to jail on...
Honestly, if you rewind, it explains it all. It's too much to re-explain right now, but actually also in the description of the stream.
Weapons and assault charges, but those were handed down by beat cops in the street. The investigation, she says, did nothing and possibly made things worse. Bill Dunphy and the CBC agreed. Despite calls for him to be charged and jailed, Grant would walk away from the accusations a free man. In a sworn affidavit, Wolfgang would echo a lot of what Elisa and Dunphy were saying, noting that the SIRC didn't interview the actual high-ranking members of the Heritage Front to get their side of the story. All of the blame was shifted from Bristow onto Drogi and the other top members. In his opinion, the SIRC was trying to save its own skin and try to make the operation look like a success, despite the front's growth in power and relevance.
The Heritage Front itself would rapidly decline after Drogi went to prison and eventually retired. The leadership reins would be handed over to Mark Lemire in 1995, and then fizzle out by 2008. The last scandal concerning the front happened in 2019, when Mark was found to be working at the city of Hamilton. The city and Mark found a settlement, and Mark would find much less public-facing employment.
In 2000, Grant and his wife would divorce. It was mutual.
In 2004, he would do a tell-all interview with the Canadian magazine The Walrus. He was thinking of writing a book, but so far it hasn't materialized. Grant would return to the Beaches district of Toronto, dodging Wolfgang Drogi until 2005, when Drogi was gunned down by a drug addict he was selling to. Bristow would remarry, become a grandfather, produce some movies, and is currently working...
So there's actually no information that actually verifies that that happened, that Drogi was selling drugs and it was somebody was selling drugs to, and it seems like nobody cared enough to look into it. So that could also be bullshit.
As a marketing consultant somewhere in Western Canada. In 2009, he would get throat cancer, but it's thankfully in remission as of 2017. He still keeps in touch with his friends over at the Canadian Jewish Congress and is seen today as somewhat of a folk hero in the Ontario Jewish community. He looks at the MAGA rallies in the States with a similar lens to the Heritage Front.
CSIS is still Canada's intelligence agency, despite their many scandals. There were very valid questions about the operation. Why did they let him enter into the country only to arrest and deport him after he riled up the Heritage Front's base? What were they going to do with all the leftist information that Grant gathered with his telephone scheme? Why would you connect all these very dangerous people and then let Grant teach them these useful skills? Grant's handler, Al Tredenick, would continue to work there despite the public backlash to his laissez-faire attitude with Operation Governor. In 2011, he would work for BlackBerry as a security liaison and now runs a public safety consulting firm. CSIS did try to infiltrate the left organizations opposed to the front, around the same time that Bristow was operating, but it seems they had less initial success. Not to be based or anything, but if this video has left any impression on you, please let it be that the government really doesn't have your best interests at heart, regardless of what you believe.
So what do you think? Was Grant a hero or just an enabler? And
He's a
is this
fucking
peaceful new
loser.
persona just another chameleon act? Thanks for watching.
Okay. All right. So really quick, because we've only got 20 minutes left. I just want to... Bernie Farmer Khan calls Bristow a dear friend. Of course he does. Really quick. Are you okay, Shawnee?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Why wouldn't I be?
All right. So we're going to... I didn't know if you were trying to say something and I interrupted, but I want to say, so now you've got a good handle on who Donald Best, Grant Bristow, whatever the fuck he is, and the Heritage Front is. I'm just going to show you a couple clips from the SSC, and I want you to tell me if you, like, come on, guys. So we know these men personally. We know them. We're telling you they're fucking fake, but let's just watch it all of a sudden.
A group of masked men gathered at Sullivan's Pond in Nova Scotia over this weekend, holding flags and banners that sparked fears of a white nationalist rally. Now confirmed as Second Sons Canada, the group included Diagolon founder Jeremy Mackenzie and posed at the Dartmouth Cenotaph with a slogan reading, "Our people, our home, our future." Liberal MP Darren Fisher condemned it as a white supremacist hate rally and called it a disgrace to the memorial's meaning and the Canadians that it was built to honor.
Jeremy's speech-giving skills have really fucking dropped since he's getting older, right? So I guess maybe he has to read off his phone now.
Playing darts, drinking in a parking lot, being a piss tank, booze bag. There's no price of entry to that. Anybody can do that. And if this just took anybody to fix our situation, we wouldn't be in this mess. This year, this is the real mortar that holds everybody together. This is the glue that makes the connections, building the network. We're doing it a different way, a physical way, the ancient way, the true way, the real way, the way our fathers, grandfathers, and beyond always did it. That house isn't made out of paper. It's not made out of wood. It's made out of two things that all of you guys have shown me here today. It's made out of fucking bones and stones! Yeah! Who else is supposed to do it? Is there somebody else you'd rather send in your place? Your mom? Your son? Your daughter? This has been charged to us, so who should do it? That's the kind of thing that every young man looks at, little boys especially. Who does that? Their dad, their uncle, their grandfather, somebody they look up to, somebody they depend on, rely on to do that, to go there, to go.
All right, what is this?
Stones and bones? What? He didn't have the balls to say.
No, he did. Well, it's stones. He's got little pebbles.
The reason you tribe and train is not about the fucking push-ups. It's not about the running. It's not about the exercise. It's not about the boxing. The reason that you engage in tribe and train is to practice organizing. That's why you do it. If you're a guy going on a walk, you're just a guy going on a walk. And if you're two guys going for a stroll, congratulations, you've got a friend to talk to as you go on your walk. But if you keep adding men to that number, eventually something changes psychologically, doesn't it? If you see 100 guys walking around their neighborhood and it's just 100 guys walking around the neighborhood, what do you think when you see that? Why is this huge group of men going for a walk in my neighborhood? What is the purpose of this? Once you're organizing even small things like that at scale, what ends up happening is it requires a sophistication of logistics and organization that in and of itself has validity. If you can organize 100 guys to go for a hike, well, then you can organize 100 guys to go to a conference, and you can organize 100 guys to go to a protest, and you can organize 100 guys to do disaster relief, and you can organize 100 guys to do whatever the fuck you want to organize 100 guys to do because you know how to do it. That's the point of tribe and train, because that's how we fucking win. When 100 guys are breathing with one breath, speaking with one voice, and acting in one motion. That's how we fucking win.
Also, you were fucking a Jew while you lived with me.
But Alex's video, I hate to say it, but Alex's video was a lot more well done than anything we watched Jeremy do. Alex is more articulate, and
Alex has always been better at everything. Like he's been the stable, whatever.
I have like 100% agree with like the things he's saying, and at the same time it's like, but what are you guys really doing? If there's 100 guys standing in a circle jerking each other off,
they're
like,
not doing anything, Shawnee. They're keeping these men
and I don't understand the fucking things on their faces either. Like, what is that? I don't know. It's all very fetish.
Yeah, well, it is fetish, and they're hiding their information from the government. But don't forget, the SSC has lots of rules. Actually, I found this video for when Aaron.
All of their rules.
Yeah, their rules. Look at this. This is great. I like this one.
they're going to do an annual membership review because your membership is never safe in this club unless you are in fucking doing everything they say and you're in really good
Super
standing.
sucking of the cocks.
Super
duel. You'll have to get both of them going.
You need to suck some cocks.
A lot of it.
Not fit enough, you can be a reservist, so they'll still take your money.
Yeah.
And then you can work out for a while and try to be a full member and then maybe you have to be voted in. I don't know.
You gotta suck some cocks pretty good, Aaron, actually. That's really what it comes down to. How much suction do you have? And that's probably why a lot of their guys have very many missing teeth. I've heard of gummers, and I've heard that they're, they feel good. Maybe this is the thing. We discovered it tonight here on the Real Alberta Housewives.
Yikes.
So that you've got to, if you join this group, you have to pay a fucking membership fee. I think it was worked out to $500 a year or $300 a year, whatever. Either way, it was an outrageous amount of money, and it goes to overhead, whatever. And you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and I think that's because of assholes like us flapping our lips. I don't care. You also have to submit your hard copy ID and be willing. You write on the form. It says you agree to having a background check. Who is doing the background check, you ask? Oh, it's the RCMP. So you've got that. Then you've got to, and it's random and periodic background checks. So that means anytime in the future. You've just given that right away.
Well, to a certain extent, in groups like that, when you're going to do like that, even if like when I was in the AFA, they did background checks. So however, they didn't really do a good job with that, but they still did background checks. I'd want to know who was around my children if it's a family organization. You know what I mean? I
guess. Well, and they do have a history of a lot of pedophiles. Let's be honest. They do.
Yeah.
That one guy had 1,000 images. I get it. But, it's $600 per year. The point is, these people are frauds. Do not give them your fucking ID. Do not sign away any agreement. You want to bring a
battery is draining, and now it's telling me that my phone is overheating.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye. Hang
love
up.
You. Sorry.
See you next Tuesday. Goodbye.
See you.
Thank you for coming. Okay, so we've got all that. We've got all that. Now it's just me, bitches. I did want to show you a couple more things. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to show you now. Donald Best likes to claim that he is a certified fraud examiner. Okay, he is not. He's not. He is not. He's a fucking liar. This is an email we'd sent to the board of certified fraud examiners. There is a board. You have to, for you to say that you are one, you have to be there. You can read the response. I did give his date of birth. I gave everything. They said, thank you for your response. Unfortunately, based on the information you provided, I was unable to locate or any certified fraud examiners matching those details in our records. Therefore, it appears this individual may not be certified with our organization. Now, we did follow up and asked if there was ever someone, and they said they couldn't locate. Again, I don't know where, if I've got a screenshot somewhere. I don't know, but he's not. Okay, so he's not a certified fraud examiner, or he is under a different fucking name, maybe Nathan Black, because Nathan Black was also a accountant. He became an accountant and an auditor. So, I don't know who Donald Best is for 100%. I'm pretty like 95% sure he is Grant Bristow. However, it doesn't matter. He isn't Donald Best, okay? And he's a liar, and he put out a publication that he should never have put out. Now, there was this video of Donald Best actually talking about what he was doing. He was trying to save face and like tell people about himself. So this is a little video of Jason Levine's wife, who is, by the way, Jewish. It's weird. Like, why would a Jewish woman, and Jason Levine is Jewish, why would they want to work with Jeremy Mackenzie and the SSC? Why would they go to the terror tour? Because this is all bullshit. But anyways, here's the video of them. Oh, for fuck's sakes, is there? Is there? No. Maybe it's this one.
You need to have story times with Donald on your YouTube. Like, I think people would love that if you just sat down and told a story, whether it's a 5-minute story or whether it ends up being 2 hours. I think people would love that, Donald, if you share some of your experiences.
There are two stories that really people love to read. One is how I saved the Pope from an attack when he was there in the early 80s, 1983, I think it was, on University Avenue in Toronto. I was undercover in the crowd, and you can read about it. And the other one that people liked was a story that I should put on.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
So he went on to say that this story was published. I fucking looked. Guess what? It wasn't. So then it was somewhere, but it was on Donald Best's website himself. I'm just going to read it to you because it's so stupid. Oh, wait, it's not that one. It's so stupid. Everyone was smiling and waving at the Pope Mobile, slowly coming towards us on about 75 feet away. Our friend looked towards the Pope, but ever so often. So he's undercover in the crowd of Toronto. Whatever. Is this page? Yeah, whatever. And he saw a man that was reaching in his pocket, okay, and he thought he was going to kill the Pope. Then he slowly swiveled his head left and right, looking for undercover officers. For us, he wasn't smiling, but he didn't spot us. We were smiling and waving and approaching the Pope Mobile. Oh, at the approaching Pope Mobile, even as we signaled for assistance to take him down. With a shorter time than it takes to tell, there were 5 of us within striking distance, and we just about to grab his arm and flash a badge. And the Pope Mobile was closer, and then it all happened so quickly, and I realized we might be too late. Fast as he shoved his right hand into his jacket pocket, he pulled out a round green object, cocked his arm, and started to throw. Everybody launched themselves at this man's arm at his hand. For an instant, I thought he had a grenade, but it was an apple that fell to the ground. Okay, he's a fucking liar. But listen, he lets us know why we can't find that story. Afterward, the public never heard about this incident on University Avenue, nor of a handful of similar happenings across Canada. Like the man we arrested, most of the attackers were troubled individuals with long histories of mental illness. At the time, it was thought by those in power that there should be nothing in the news to mar the feeling and image of historical and the historical record of the Pope's Canadian visit. So police said nothing of any incident, and newspapers printed nothing, even if they knew. At the time, I agreed with not reporting the incident during the Papal tour, but given the rise of government and corporate collaboration to censor, it should have been a caution to me about the power of news media and deliberately ignoring events in order to control and construct narratives. Donald Best, it wasn't in the news because it didn't fucking happen and because it was an apple. You retard. It was a fucking apple. Okay? So if it did happen, it was an apple. Let's be honest here. You didn't save the fucking Pope. This man is a compulsive liar. Anyways, he's hosting Jeremy Mackenzie in the SSC on his stream tomorrow. And actually, Babylon Beaver said it. She said it was like a torch passing ceremony. So you guys should go check it out and ask. You'll only get one chance to ask questions in the comments because they will ban you from commenting. You can still watch the stream, but you just can't comment. So just know that. And let's see. We've got this stuff. Yes, he does. I can't stand either of them. Honestly, I can't. They're just, I don't know what else to say or what else to do. Yes, everyone tomorrow, please do go raid the chat. You should, because the more people know, there is chances. I know everyone's kind of negative and thinks but if you're on the fence and you're considering joining this SSC group, right? And then you can hear some other fucking perspectives, maybe they won't join. I don't know. But the grassy knoll. Yeah. The grassy knoll. Yes, exactly. Okay, you guys. So I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to show you. Oh, no, I do. Oh, I do. I do, actually. So Femikaze was showing, so Donald Best, being the fraud investigator he likes to claim he is. Sorry, Femikaze, I'm fucking behind on this. One moment, please. I've just got to upload it. Because I'm an idiot. Wrong one. Femikaze asked Donald Best about Jeremy Mackenzie's fraudulent fundraising, right? Because he knows he's very involved in the fraudulent fundraising awareness, and he likes to broadcast it. And Jeremy Mackenzie has been fraudulently fundraising. He's had a lot of fundraisers that were... Oh, shit. 1 second. I'm just going to go to your X and just do it that way because this is too hard. So we all know that there was multiple fundraisers for Jeremy Mackenzie to get him out of trouble with the police, to get him out of trouble with anything he got in trouble with. Oh, every stream was a fucking fundraiser. God, he made a lot of money. Every stream, 3 nights a week. Fundraiser after fundraiser, plus that, oh my God, what is his name? The curly-haired fuck. The lawyer. You guys know who I'm talking about. I know you do. I can't remember his name. Anyways, he did a fundraiser specifically to Jeremy's mortgage, because Viva Frey, was going to do a fundraiser to Jeremy Mackenzie's mortgage because Jeremy was getting debanked. And, I know that got at least $50,000, at least $50,000. But Femikaze here figured out that he's a liar. He's a fucking liar. His mortgage... Sorry, guys. I need another adult on the stream with me. There we go. Okay, so Jeremy Mackenzie is a shameless liar who commits fundraising fraud on his fans. Okay, so the adjustment. Though that's just the signed copy. Let me see if there's another. Okay. Either way, the price of that house when he bought it in 2016 was only $247,000. If he's $160,000 left on his mortgage, that means he put none of the money, none of the money on his mortgage from the fundraisers that were specifically started for that purpose. Fraud. Oops, sorry, shit, fuck, where'd you go? I hate that. Anyways, the point is, she found it. She figured it out. She brought it up to Donald Best. And instead of Donald Best actually... Oh, here it is. Instead of Donald Best actually responding to her, he actually followed up with... he redirected people to go look at the fraud report he did where he included my name. That never happened. I wish it did. To be honest with you, at this point, with these fucking losers, I wish it did. I could have used some of that money. It didn't happen. So, I don't know. Who is Donald Best? I'd love it if somebody could help me figure that out, because he is not Donald Best. I think he's Grant Bristow, but what do you guys think? Anybody else have anything else they want me to talk about? Femikaze, I totally fucked the dog on that one. I'm sorry. Go look at her ex, because she's got a lot of details, actually. And she's always got clever names. They're just... What name is it today? Yeah, I think he's Bristow too. I do think he's Bristow. I know there's some people who don't think it, and that's fine. Why would CSIS call me the next? Too many fucking coincidences. I think it was really dumb of them to reuse an asset like that and just assume Canadians are stupid. And to put him in, if they brought him in and didn't put him in a right-leaning position, right, where he's going to sit there and commentate on stuff like that, fine, but they put him in the wrong spot. So I'm just going to give you the name of the ex to go look at, because it's so funny. I literally go in the middle of the night and look at this this Twitter account because it's spicy. It's the Grand Manan Fetal Alcohol Survivors Society. The @ is Morgan 4FAS. I like it. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have a wicked awesome week, and I will see you next Tuesday. I will be watching the Bristow Mackenzie interview tomorrow. I'll try to get a comment in before I get banned, and we'll see you guys. There's so many psycho killers. I'll talk about them next week. Okay, I love you. Have a very good week. Oh, yeah, please hit the like button and share. Okay, thank you.
Maybe the next step in your healing journey is to go around calling people fucking cunts. That is all for today's therapy session. I'll see you next Tuesday.